In today's episode of The Charles Travers Show, I sit down with Fery Kaszoni, the CEO and founder of Search Intelligence. Originally from Transylvania, Romania, Fery's journey is a remarkable story of entrepreneurial spirit, from humble beginnings to building an agency that scaled from £100,000 to £5.5 million in annual revenue in just the last 4 years. We dive into how Fery's early life experiences shaped his entrepreneurial drive, his innovative approach to digital PR, and his exciting developments and thoughts on AI technology. We also explore the future of digital PR, discuss the power of reactive PR strategies, and get Fery's insights on building successful PR campaigns that generate high quality SEO backlinks. Plus, Fery shares valuable advice for entrepreneurs and professionals looking to adapt and thrive in an AI revolution. Whether you're an entrepreneur, marketer, or someone interested in the intersections of PR and artificial intelligence, this episode is packed with actionable insights and inspiring stories you won't want to miss. Hi guys, welcome back for another episode of the Charles Travers Show. I'm joined today by special guest, Fery. Fery, welcome to the show.
Charles, good to be here. I'm pumped. I'm excited to have a chat and hopefully share some value with everyone.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good. Thanks for joining us. I reached out to Fery on LinkedIn. We've been connected for a while, and I've been kind of following his content. And he was kind enough to jump on the show. So I appreciate that. Fery, before we begin, just for those that are listening or watching in that don't know who you are, it would be great to just kind of get a little bit of an intro, who you are, what you do, where you're from, and then we can kind of take things from there.
So I run Search Intelligence, the digital PR company. We are a team of 80 people now, and I've started the business in 2014, but we really started scaling in 2020 when the pandemic hit. And I'm a tech, as you could probably tell, I'm a tech enthusiast. I love coding. I love technology. I used to have like a science lab in the loft of our house when I was a child. And I'm a tech obsessed person. Was born and raised in Transylvania, but now I live in Oxfordshire in the UK, next to Jeremy Clarkson's pub, somewhere like 5 minutes away. So
Nice.
That's who I am.
Nice, sounds good. I mean, it's interesting because the usually techie and entrepreneur don't always sit in the same bucket. And you mentioned the fact that you've got 80 plus staff. From my understanding, it's a pretty sizable company. Have you always been techie? Have you always been entrepreneurial as well? Is that take me through how you kind of were able to go from kind of starting out to where you are now? That's a pretty sizable achievement.
Yes. Well, I was actually against agency life pre-pandemic. I was like, I don't want, team members. We don't want to be like a big agency because many people is pain and lots of problems. And I was like, I never want to scale. So I wasn't always driven by scaling an agency, but after pandemic hit, I was like, okay, whatever happens, it doesn't matter anymore. It's crazy anyway. Everything is madness now, so let's scale. But I think my first, I was always kind of an entrepreneur, but I didn't know it. Even as a child, when we were very poor, my mom used to send me to neighbors to ask for some loans, some loans until she gets her pension. And I was like a 10-year-old child, or whatever, 10-year-old child who was going to neighbors to convince them to lend us some money to buy some food until my mom gets the pension. This was in the early 90s, right? It was quite a while ago. And I think that's where I developed this, hustle. I just have to go and get things done and make things happen. So I was an entrepreneur from as a child, but I didn't really know about it until probably a few years ago.
Interesting, interesting. And when did you move? You moved over from. You mentioned that you were brought up in where? Did you say
Yeah, in Romania, Transylvania. So I'm
Romania? Yeah.
Hungarian from Romania who now lives in the UK. It's actually so at the moment of filming, it's like the 6th of February now. But it's going to be posted. It's going to be probably post 6. But I came to the UK on the 8th of February 2012.
Wow.
So it's going to be 13 years in like 2 days from now.
Nice,
Um,
nice.
it's been a while.
Interesting, interesting. And so you've got that kind of hustle from an early age, having kind of brought up from quite modest
Mm,
upbringings. Do you feel that's where you got your kind of drive from? To be able
yeah,
to kind of build that.
absolutely. I think the biggest killer of drive and enthusiasm is complacency and having it all. It usually doesn't help with being driven and being just wanting to do big things. I think having like having a past where I did not have anything um, kind of helped me push myself to wanting to have it all, right? I think it was a blessing. I think coming from like a not well off background, it's an asset when you grow up.
Yeah, yeah. No, you kind of hear that kind of same story, don't you? With the top level successful entrepreneurs that you hear in the news, they've always come from
Mm.
humble beginnings, and that's kind of what fuels them to really go on. So you mentioned that you've got 80 staff, and do you mind sharing, just so the audience has a bit of an idea of where you're at now? Like, where were you before, say, the pandemic in terms of revenue numbers, and where are you now? Like, how have you been able to kind of scale? Because
So
that's
in
yeah,
2020, it was me and another part-time person, so two people. And in like 4 years, and by the way, we sold I think 100 grand in 2020. That was the annual revenue. And last year we made over 5.5 million in revenue. Within like 4 years, we managed to scale to this, and it was a crazy journey to go from like 100K to 5.5 in like 4 years, even 3 years, because even the year before we have exceeded 5 million. So that's kind of the journey. It was a bit crazy. I think now it's gonna stall a little bit because we have to catch our breath and look how we go to the next level. So we're not gonna probably not gonna double again, like not gonna go like 50% increase this year, or maybe we will. Who knows? But I can see us slowing down a little bit to catch a breath and see what's the next mountain for us. And by the way, my voice, I think I've got a cold, so my voice is going away.
that's all good. We can hear you. I can, yeah. No, that's incredible. A really amazing achievement from where you, like, within the space of 4 years. That's what would you say then? Because look, 99 probably 0.9% of entrepreneurs, business owners never achieve that level of success in business. What would you say is one kind of piece of advice that you would give to be able to scale um, from, say, that 100,000 all the way up to that 5.5 million a year? Is there anything that you would say you've got to do this in order to get to that point?
Yeah, I think there's like multiple things that you have to combine, and none of them can come without the other. You have to build an audience. You have to build, friends online. You have to, yeah, you have to go on social media. That's the first step you have to do. And how do you do that? Of course, it's not like, oh, you're like posting about random stuff and just being egotistical with the posts. You have to go and help people, give them value. So I always say, if you want to build an audience on social media, do this. Find in an area where you're expert in and create a very detailed course, online course on how people can replicate what you know best, right? How can people do it in the best way possible? So create a course, and create a course so good that you can sell it to other people for like £100,000. That's how much value you have to put into the course. And once you've created this course, instead of selling it for 100 grand, You go and put it live online free of charge on your social media profile. That's how you build an audience. Help others for free. And then, yeah, many people will replicate what you do and you create lots of like competition, but that's that's not how you should look at it. You should look at it, hey, people who want to do what I do will find a way to do it anyway. But people who want to, have the results that I have, but don't want to do the things that I do, will reach out to you because they will see you as, I mean, transparently who you are and what you do by looking at your content and resonating with your content. So just give away value for free at scale on social media, help others, and that's how you build an audience. And of course, the second one is you have to have a good product. You have to solve a good solution, and you have to be always like genuine and helpful to others with your product or service. So these two, if you combine these two together, I think that's the path to really scaling up fast.
No, that's really sound advice. And would you focus on one service to start with and just hone in on that and perfect that
It's the
and get that?
fastest way to grow fast, right? It's the best way to go from zero to whatever, by focusing on one problem and solving it the best way it can be solved ever by any other company.
Yeah.
That's that's the power of sharp focus on one discipline.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Good stuff. That's some really, really, really useful advice. I want to steer to a direction that I know you've been focusing on a lot recently, which is AI. And I'm really curious to get your thoughts on how you see the future of digital PR through an AI lens and AI and automation, what you're currently looking at the moment, how you're implementing that within your agency and what you kind of see the trends are moving forward. Yeah, it'd be great to get some insights here.
I think AI is doing a really good thing to digital PR because SEO is becoming more difficult. Like and I think SEO is going to become more of a brand building than link building. And I think the digital PR is booming and it's going to boom because of this. So all the mom bloggers or like guest blogs and all the other PBNs that have been there, not all of them, most of them. There might be some good ones that are left, but most of them have been kind of obliterated by Google in the past year, right? And they have like very little value. But with digital PR, you actually earn links in like proper news publications, like genuine content that you create. And I think that's why AI is actually changing the industry because it forces Google to discredit those PBNs and those AI churn and burn websites. And from that perspective, it's done a good thing. On the other side, now anyone can have quick ideation with ChatGPT, right? You can have more ideas, you can be more efficient. So there's more competition in the industry, but uh, I think if we keep on innovating and building systems and automations to 10x the output of our team members, then that's going to give us and anyone else an advantage in the industry who actually does it. So the first real AI agent that we have built is a email response AI agent. So every time somebody emails our inquiries inbox, our AI agent is gonna go and look at the transcript of my past 100 Zoom meetings with potential clients. It's gonna learn from every question people have asked and everything I have responded, and it's gonna use that information to reply to any question you can ask by email. Like, how many links are we going to get? What's the timeline? How do I move forward? Do you count do follow, no follow? Do you count syndications? Anything that anyone would ask by email in our inquiries inbox, the AI will answer better and faster than I could or anyone else could.
It's
It's
incredible, isn't it?
We literally had a person sitting for hours every day and replying to our inquiries. now that job is fully automated. And it even sold. So it even, people were going back and forth with questions and answers. And it even got many people to actually sell, to buy the service 5.5K paid via Stripe without any human intervention.
Wow. Wow.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And we are, we are developing that further. So that thing alone, like that AI implementation has been a life changer, because I don't have to go and reply to new client inquiries. Our team members don't have to go and do that, because now they can focus on more meaningful things, more impactful things. So that's the first thing that we have actually done with AI to help, with our service. Um, Apart from that, we are building lots of software for data analysis, and even creating like drafts of press releases and so on. We don't want to send out AI content. We even with a tool that we are launching, it's called like HOAR, right? HOAR,
Yeah, I
help
was
out.
going to ask you about this. Yeah.
We will actually have a writing tool that helps craft news articles for journalists, but we will not allow people to copy the content unless it's been edited by a human and the human score is high. We discourage junk AI content. I don't believe that's the future, but I believe the future can be AI content, but if it's done the right way. But I think we're not there yet in terms of technology and capabilities of AI. Maybe it's deliberate. Maybe OpenAI doesn't want to replace every human writer. Therefore, they don't, or like other AI companies, they are still not perfecting the writing style. But I think we will get there eventually, where you can just say, "Give me a press release based on these," or "Give me a news article based on these facts," and then it's going to create a better news article than a journalist. So I think that's coming, probably 1 year or like a few months from now. But we are still not there yet, and I discourage, using AI to actually create the final version of the content.
Mm. Yeah, it's crazy kind of how much it's developed. Um, I think I read one of your posts that you'd built like a tool using some prompts, and I was using one the other day, Bolt.new. I don't know if you're aware of this one, and it's insane at what it can do, and how many different and I have zero coding knowledge as well. I'm not from that kind of technical background, so yeah, it's moving fast. How do you deal with that because you with such a big team? How do you kind of, without kind of scaring your staff, how do you kind of add these systems and processes um, in a way that's not going to kind of get some resistance, I guess? Are you still kind of trying to figure that out, or
Yeah, well,
um,
I have a simple kind of rule in terms of AI implementation. So when it comes to replacing any human task, we should only replace the task with AI if the AI is doing the job better than a human. Not faster. It will do it faster, but that's not a metric that we should make a decision on. Is it better than a human output? Is it better? Like is this AI agent that replies to the emails better? And it is. Therefore, we are gonna implement that as the solution for that problem. If it's not better than a human, then we don't replace the human task and like the human input, right? So, and of course, if it's better, then we know it's going to be way faster anyway. So we only replace human work when the AI output is better than the human work. We should not care about whether it's faster or not, or like 100 times more efficient. That should not be a metric you should measure. The only metric should be, is it better?
yeah, it's a very good point. Yeah, I like that analysis. I think the way that, yeah, that makes total sense. Um, Moving on then to, just got a couple of questions here. So, wanting to ask you, what do you see as kind of the biggest mistakes that brands or agencies make when it comes to PR? Having been in this space for a number of years now, what's the kind of big mistakes that companies are making when they're starting out with doing digital PR?
The biggest mistake of agencies starting out, not the established ones, but like the ones who like are starting out, is not sending enough emails. It's by far the biggest mistake. I had a chat with a person, I think 2 days ago, and he was like, "Oh, I've got this press release, I've sent it out, but nothing happened. Why?" Like, okay, I kind of had a suspicion why, and I'm like, "How many contacts did you have in the list?" They're like, "Well, I sent it out to like 25 people, but nobody." Like, 25? Oh, that's nothing. Like, you should send it to 2,000 or 2,500 people. That's where, and then resend it in 2 weeks if the story is good, right? So the biggest mistake is just being very, very narrow with the list. And the other mistake is, like I see very often, is people just write almost like a blog style email. um, it doesn't work. You have to write it in the style of the journalist. You have to see how the news outlets are writing the articles and pitch the story in that style. Because if you start writing it like in like a blog style, it doesn't work, because they will see like this is not like a proper PR, like a PR piece. So writing in the journalist style and then having a large enough list. But also, the third mistake is just having stories that are very about their company. Like, say, oh, we have launched this revolutionary new Uber of dog poop bags or whatever. Like, we are gonna like, nobody cares about you. Just do something that's appealing to the media. Don't talk about yourself, because journalists, even though you think it's revolutionary and even though it might be, nobody cares about you as a brand. They care about a story that's gonna resonate with their audience. So that's these are the three big mistakes. If they address these, I think they'll have immediately like way bigger success with PR.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. It's a good point. So yeah, I guess on some level it's a numbers game, isn't it? It's almost like sales and marketing.
It
It's
is. It is a numbers game indeed.
yeah, getting in front of the right people. And in terms of then like your process, how are you? I see on LinkedIn, some of your kind of creative videos and the way that you're able to get press. What have you found has been some of the unusual ways that you've been able to get some high quality digital PR links? Is there any kind of secret sauce or strategies that you could share, obviously without delving too much?
Oh no, I can share anything.
Yeah.
I can share everything. Like, I think reactive PR, reactive PR is one of the best ways to get links and a kind of a secret sauce. We've had last week, and I think you might have seen some of the posts where Snoop Dogg's followers dropped by 500,000. We jumped on the trend and we said, "Hey, Snoop Dogg's followers dropped because he has participated in whatever event," and took a screenshot, put it in an email, push it out. We had like 30 links from New York Post and all the big ones. A few days after, our team members, oh, if Snoop Dogg's followers dropped, let's see what happened to the Kardashians. Her followers dropped as well. Took a screenshot, put in an email, same template, push it out. Again, lots of links. The client just asked for 5 extra campaigns when yesterday, when they've seen like what we've done. A few days after, Selena Gomez followers dropped. So we've done the same. Take a screenshot, followers dropped because she participated here, push it out. Again, lots of links. So reactive PR is one of the best ways to get that's kind of a secret sauce. And I always say in like the channels, please leverage reactive PR. It's the best way to get links fast, because journalists want opinions, want stories, want data when the iron is hot. And yeah, that's kind of secret sauce. Like, leverage reactive PR. Don't just rely on like, oh, we're gonna do this fancy data study and we'll gather 250 data sets from, and then we spend like 2 months on it. That can work very well, but you should not just rely on just those. Just leverage multiple methods, and reactive PR is one of the best ones.
Interesting. And so do you have someone effectively monitoring kind of cultural, social, celebrity trends on a how do you kind of find those opportunities,
We have a
or is it?
reactive PR channel,
Yeah,
and everyone from the company has got access to that channel. And every time, even this morning, as I was driving to work, I was having like messages coming up, as people logged in, like, oh, this happened, that happened, that happened. And everyone is putting, interesting things that they might think would be helpful to any of our team members. So having a large team is helpful, because there's always, somebody who detects a trend and they put it there. And that's the best way to do it. Like, have a channel, a reactive channel, where everyone, even the CEO or the managers or even the accountants or like finance people, can have access there and share interesting things that they have discovered, in the past, day.
yeah, that's good. Interesting. Um, so one of my challenges as an SEO, as you probably well know, is building links, is the link side of things, and I'm trying to educate my clients on the benefit of using digital PR. I think, like you mentioned, a lot of the other methods of building links aren't as effective as they used to be. What are you seeing with your clients, your digital PR clients, the impact that's having on their organic traffic? Have you seen some? Have you got some kind of case studies or useful examples that you could share where you've started working with a client and you've seen kind of significant upticks in their organic traffic?
I love this question, because I always answer with another question. Like, if when people ask you, oh, what's the benefit, how fast am I going to rank, and all these questions about, what's the effectiveness of digital PR, I always say, what's the effectiveness of taking creatine, right? Well, it depends what you do and what else you also do. Are you going to the gym? If you are also going to the gym, then the creatine's effect will be way more amplified. Are you going to bed at 9 p.m. in the evening, or are you staying up until 2 o'clock? Are you also drinking alcohol? Are you eating like a healthy food and good food with proteins and so on, or are you just eating McDonald's and just junk food? Like, what else do you also do, as apart from just taking creatine, right? And that's exactly how digital PR works. We do have, like, you can look up Bad Kingdom and Curify and Fresher and all the other ones who've been with us for many years, but they've also done everything else right. They've also done guest blogs. Like, I'm not dismissing guest blogs. You should still leverage paid link opportunities with other agencies and buy links. But you should also have a good SEO strategy, a good content strategy, a good technical SEO, right? So if you combine all of these together and you also bring in digital PR, they're gonna amplify each other, and that's how digital PR works. It shouldn't be like, oh, I got penalized by Google and now I want to recover and I'm just gonna run digital PR. Well, that's probably not the best strategy. You should probably run digital PR, but also look at some other things, because digital PR alone might not do anything to your, algorithmic or even manual penalty. Of course, manual penalty needs to be, lifted manually first, but even after that, you should not just do digital PR. You should look at everything else, and combining digital PR with everything else will have the best effects on your SEO and on your rankings.
Yeah, I think what you're saying, it's a holistic approach, isn't it? You've got to, if you don't have the foundations right, i.e., say your website, then digital PR is not going to have the impact um, that it's shown to do. It's the same with SEO. I can help drive traffic to a site, but if the site looks like it was built in 1990, then it's not going to have much of an impact. So yeah, I
Well,
could completely agree with that. I like your creatine analogy of, you could take creatine, but if you don't go to the gym 3-4 times a week, then it's not going to have any impact.
indeed, indeed. And the thing is, as you said, if you have like a bad website and you increase the rankings with with link building and everything else, it will not stay there, right? It's going to be useless because Google will detect that people are disappointed with your website, and you can build all the links in the world and push it up in rankings, but it's not going to stick unless everything else is right on the website as well, right? If you're Even if your pricing is not, or even if you're not responding to the phone as fast as your competitors do, and people are going to your website, they're calling you, maybe your service business, they're calling you and you don't respond, and they go back on Google and go to the second place on your competitor and they answer, and then your competitor will outrank you because you did not answer the phone. It's you know
Yeah.
it's a bit, sounds crazy, but that's how it actually works.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. You've got to have every aspect of marketing and sales working in tandem. Otherwise, yeah, things fall apart. No, that makes total sense. And I do actually think I think you mentioned it earlier on. I agree with that. Digital PR is only going to become more powerful because I think brand like SEO is going to be more closely tied with brand. I think search is going to be more omnipresent, like as in multiple different channels. It's not just going to be Google search. It's going to be
Yep.
potentially ChatGPT search and Perplexity and all of these other search engines. And brand is going to be the top thing to be thinking about because people are going to be searching more for brands. So the more exposure you can get brands,
Yes.
the more
So
people are going to be searching in the search queries.
absolutely, but I was just thinking yesterday. I was literally thinking about this. I think for Google, yes, definitely, because they have like a good experience with managing spam and guest blogs and so on. But for the AI, for the AI results, I think PBNs and guest blogs at scale are going to come back. And I'm going to make a
Interesting.
video on this. Like I have to make, because what they don't have manual penalties at ChatGPT. They don't have manual or algorithmic penalties at Anthropic and at other AI companies, right? They don't know how crazy we can be as SEOs when we start building 2,000 PBNs
Yeah,
just
yeah,
to say that we are the best whatever in the industry, and then OpenAI will follow 2,000 websites that are interlinking between each other, or saying that this company is the best. Therefore, our algorithms will rank them higher. I think PBNs and guest blogs are gonna have a massive comeback in the next few months when people realize, hey, how do these AI algorithms work? Why are they ranking us higher? Oh, it's because 2,000 other websites mentioned us. We can build 2,000 websites with 2 clicks now and create AI content that's gonna say that we are the best in the industry, so that the next model when it comes out and that's gonna have that those websites crawled, then we're gonna rank on top of ChatGPT. I think it's going to be a crazy comeback.
interesting. Yeah, so you think that effectively backlinks of any type are going to be more powerful, beneficial than ever when it comes to ranking
Backlinks
on
and brand
yeah
mentions, right?
brand mentions. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see that. I think you could definitely be right there. I think it. Certainly, we have no. I've not seen yet any definitive study of what exactly allows you to rank on these search engines. I think some SEOs and marketers have got some ideas, but yeah, they'll be interesting to see. But that makes total sense for sure.
That's kind of a scary assumption that I have. That And it might happen. I might actually test. I might set up like 200 websites, like satellite websites, and then try to see. The thing is, you only know after the next model is going to come out, because like the AI models always have like a timeline where they cut off, right? So I think, I'm not sure, GPT-4, for example, the cutoff is like somewhere in 2023, and so on. So it's going to take a year until the model 1 year from now is going to pick up the sites that you build now and the experiments you do now. But I think it's worth doing them, because that might be, that might prove us right or wrong of like what's working.
Yeah, well, I guess it's going to be interesting to see how they then these AI chatbots and search engines are able to combat that, because eventually they'll figure out that, okay,
Of course,
there's a lot of manipulation going on here, and
you're playing with SEOs. Come
yeah,
on, like we've been
yeah,
doing this for like 25 years now. Do you think an AI model can outsmart us?
yeah.
Right?
It's gonna be interesting to see, but I think you're right. I think probably there's gonna be a period where there's gonna be a lot of crap crap
Yeah,
showing up
yeah.
within
I think so. I think so.
yeah, well, interesting to see. Ferry, talk to me about you mentioned it before. How do you say it? Is it actually HOAR, as in
Yeah.
whore? Yeah, okay.
Yes. Yes.
Whore.pr.
Indeed.
Excuse the
Indeed.
pun. Yeah.
Indeed.
I like the yeah. Okay.
Well,
Um,
I was like, should we name this? Are people gonna be like, offended, or are they gonna like, get the joke?
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and then I shared it in the channel in our at our company again. Having a good team size is good, and then everyone just laughed and loved it. So okay, if you love it, then I know that LinkedIn and the world will love it.
yeah. Well, you're certainly not going to forget it anyway, are you? So,
Yeah, yeah,
and so is it a replacement to? Because we had Harrow before, didn't we? There was a company called Harrow that now is no longer. Is that your aim? Is to become the new Harrow, or is there some completely different type of
it's gonna be
business?
more than Harrow. It's
Okay,
it's gonna be more. So we want to build it more like we want to build all of our experience that we had at the agency, and we want to build the processes and tools that we are actually using at the agency and give it away to other agencies and other SEOs as well. So from digital PR ideation to creating a draft press release, um, you will have all the tools necessary in that platform to actually go and be good at your PR, which is counterintuitive because like it's going to create competition for us. But I think we have to create this tool and we have to give this tool away to the industry. So
wow.
it's going to be more. And by the way, when is this podcast going live?
Probably sometime next week, I would have said. Yeah, we'll be live. So we're on the
So the whore name is gonna be just a little part of the actual name that's coming out. So the name is gonna be the official name when we launch the app is not gonna be whore.pr. That's not gonna be the website. It's gonna be another. I bought a domain name for 45 grand last year, and I said I'm gonna keep it there, and then when the right moment comes, I'm gonna launch it. So
great. Yeah.
it's going to be launched next week. It's going to be launched on this week right now. We probably launched it by the time you watch this video.
Well, yeah.
It's
Well,
going to be a different domain, and horror is going to be a little menu item there that's going to have the function of expert quotes, quote requests, and requesting quotes as a publisher or as a journalist, and then on the brand or like the agency side is going to be providing quotes on behalf of your clients. That's going to be a little section in the website. There's way more than that.
nice. Well, once it's out, we'll put it in the show notes and we'll link to it for sure. That sounds good. Sounds good. Excited to see that actually, just from because that's one of the pain points of my life is trying to figure out how to generate quality links for
Yeah.
my e-commerce clients. I focus mainly on
Yeah,
e-commerce.
yeah,
So
yeah. Well, it's going to be focused on providing genuine. So we are not going to allow AI content to be pitched because I think Harrow was it was the worst timing for Harrow because ChatGPT just came out, and I don't know hundreds of thousands of people, maybe or like tens of thousands of people, were just spamming Harrow with like fake quotes that had been generated by ChatGPT in 5 seconds, and it literally just ruined everything. They didn't have the infrastructure and the software to deal with this, but we are gonna deal with this, and we're not gonna allow any AI. I mean, we are gonna allow it, but it's gonna be ranked very low. When the journalists are gonna look at the quotes, there is gonna be hidden. It's gonna be like kind of algorithmic. I know algorithmic is a fancy word, but it's gonna be sorted by the best quote on top.
yeah, no, that sounds good. Sounds good. Excited to see that for sure. On the subject of that, as we're talking kind of about AI, what tools are you finding at the moment that you're really enjoying using on a kind of day-to-day basis in terms of your workflow as a founder and CEO? and kind of managing the agency. What any favorites of yours that you're kind of using on a regular basis at the moment?
So do you mean for managing the workflow or for like anything?
Anything from business to personal life. What's the kind of tools that you're enjoying using at the moment?
I'm super obsessed with Cursor AI.
Okay,
Have you heard of Cursor?
I've not. No, tell me more.
It's a code editor that's powered by an agent.
Wow. Okay.
So the way it works, you literally code with a prompt, but you have to know how to code. So anyone listening or watching, don't imagine that you'll go and you have no coding experience and that you'll be able to create the next Facebook app or the next whore app, right? HOAR app. Maybe we have to beep it because who knows? Maybe
It's
YouTube.
all good. Don't worry.
Maybe YouTube's gonna ban the video. You have to understand coding and you have to have like deep understanding of systems. Otherwise, you can build a simple tax calculator with Cursor. It's fine. You don't need experience, but to build like a proper application, you need to understand. But I've literally got two Macs. So I've got this MacBook and the other MacBook there.
Yeah.
I've got two screens there and two screens here. And what I do is the way I code. I've got this mic here, and I
Okay.
say, please remove this menu item and replace it with the other one that does this and that. Boom, enter. And the AI agent is thinking and doing the work there in this editor. And then I go here and in this other mic, I say, please do this and that, enter. And then I go away and come back and work on the other branch, on the other functionality. So I go back and forth in two desks. And the editor is literally doing, the AI agent is doing the work. Is so powerful. Like I'm anxious. So the payment to Cursor failed 2 days ago, and I was literally going into like an anxiety because what happens if I cannot pay my Cursor editor and I'm not going to be able to use it to code? I'm obsessed with it. It's the superpower that I always wanted to have. So
Interesting. Well,
powerful.
so it looks like you got quite the setup there. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, we got lots of. Yeah, lots of equipment here. I've even got like a teleprompter there and lots of things that are not visible. I love
Yeah.
my tech gadgets.
Good stuff. Good stuff. No, that sounds good. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, I was using one. I don't know if it's as powerful as Cursor, but Bolt.new, and I was just, I built like a basic SEO optimization tool for Shopify stores, and with zero
So
zero
what else?
coding knowledge.
You say Bolt?
Bolt.new, yeah, NEW. Yeah, worth checking that one out. I don't know if it's any different or it's any better or worse than what you're using, but I was very impressed. But that's probably because I'm a complete novice when it comes to to coding.
Yes. I mean, I'm feeling sorry, and I know it sounds bad for junior software developers who are entering the market. I mean, if they are excited about software, then they will, and they are excited about AI, they will have a good future. But for anyone who is like, oh, AI is never going to replace us, or it's never going to do our job, and they are software developers, it's bad news for them. It can literally code really well, and it's only February 2025. Wait
Yeah.
until December 2025, or wait until June 2026, or whatever, 1 year from now or 2 years from now. It's only going to get exponentially better.
Well, let's talk about that in terms of one of the questions I was going to ask you was, how, for someone like yourself, successful entrepreneur, you're obviously very creative. You're leveraging these tools, but for probably, someone who's in a job or the average person, is there any advice that you could give them to, rather than just burying your head in the sand? What do you think are the skill sets or the mindset that's needed to be able to work within this kind of AI revolution? Have you got any thoughts on that, and how you would adapt to these pretty significant changes? I mean,
Any employee who is watching this, anyone who is has got any role at any company, not just employee but CEO as well, but managers and like employees and everyone, it's the best time to live in for you now in the next 6 months. It's the best time. You can get promotions, like big promotions. You have the best time now, unless, as you said, you bury yourself, like your head, and then like, oh, I'm just gonna cruise along. If you quit Netflix, quit anything else, and start watching AI agent building podcasts and start learning AI like crazy, like every hour that you are awake, you should watch AI content, AI, podcasts on YouTube, AI tutorials, how to build AI agents. You can double your salary in the next 6 months. It's so easy now because nobody has AI experience now in any industry. Like very few people have, how to build an AI system. If I was just saying downstairs, like if somebody would have come up with, systems like this, AI system that I built for replying emails and replacing me, or um, replacing another person who's replying to emails, I would have been like, my God, we have to, tie this person down here in the office and never let them go because they are so valuable. They built, they built this system that saved us so many, so many hours. So everyone who is out there, find a way to learn AI to replace yourself and replace the tasks that other people at the agency or at the company are doing. If you manage to do that, you will probably double your salary in the next 1 year. If but it comes with a price. The price is no more Netflix, no more TikTok, no more happy videos and funny blah blah blah, and no more going out all weekends. It means sit down and for the next 2 months just consume and experiment with AI every awake hour that you have. That's a price. I mean, I'm sorry, but if you do that, that's your future.
No, it makes total sense. Look, everyone's got 1 or 2 hours a day that they've mindlessly scrolling probably on
Of
social
course,
media.
of course, of course.
So yeah, I totally agree. I think it really is. We're in a period of you have to learn to adapt, or yeah, unfortunately, you're probably going to be potentially out of a job at some point, and it may
It's
not be this year, it may not be
Yeah.
next year, but it will creep up.
If people
Um,
don't adapt and don't learn, and the problem is you don't have 1 year to learn. That's why I'm saying you should not watch Netflix anymore. It's game over. Screw those movies. It doesn't matter. It's you don't have a year to learn AI. You have a month to learn AI. That's why you have to compress the time and just spend, because in a year you'll have to learn a new set of skills, and after a year a new set of skills. But you don't have. I mean, people don't have to. People can just do nothing, and then but then there are going to be probably consequences if people don't adapt. Everyone will have to adapt now, and if they want to increase their pay, increase, get promotions and be better in their career, then they would have to put down everything and just learn AI agents and how to build AI systems.
yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. I think yeah, the genie is out the box when it comes to AI. There's no going back now. It's only going to get more powerful, as you
Yep.
said. So yeah, cool, Frey. Well, I got a couple of kind of final questions. Different random ones. It's almost not fire round, but just yeah. First one being, what's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Best piece of advice. I think the best kind of philosophy that I've received that changed my life is that we can actually shape our life and our future. And when I've discovered this, I was like, euphoria. I think whatever circumstance we are in, and anyone is in, there's always a way out. There's always a way out, and it's up to you mostly to change, your life. And I've been there. I've had like there's no way out for me, and after I've started, believing that we can change our lives, just with the power of our intentions and how we think and how we behave and how we um, you know relate to other people and how we respect others and how we respect ourselves, everything changed. So there's always a way out, and with the power of our intentions, we can change our lives, like whatever circumstance we are in. There's always a way out, right? And that was the best piece of advice. Like, it changed my life. Like, there's no, whatever happens, if you are a good human and you always go with the right intentions, then there's always a way out.
Like that. Very good. Very good advice. Um, what's the most favorite place in the world and why? Where'd you like to visit? Where would you say is the best place?
Well, I think this can vary. It's been raining so much in the UK now, that
Good
I
old
would,
rainy Britain.
yeah, I would say Spain is, the best place. Um, Food is good, and um, it's got it's very European, and I feel at home. So probably Spain. We are actually going to Spain in a few weeks.
Any
Um,
particular part of Spain that you like to visit?
I think Mallorca. I love Mallorca, the island, um, and Tenerife. I think Tenerife is a bit too far, but I think Mallorca is great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
catch some winter sunshine. The Canary Islands are always
Oh my
good for
God,
that.
so good,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
good. Yeah, we are going there like in 2 weeks, and looking forward to it. To go
Nice.
out in a t-shirt in February. This is amazing. So exciting.
Yeah, well, there's a reason why I escaped the UK. Certainly, I can't seem to handle winters anymore. Um, and finally, what's one thing that you can't live without?
Hmm.
One item.
It's the Cursor AI code editor,
There we
for sure.
go.
If I had one tool to take with me, it would be that, because I can build anything with that. I can go wild and build anything. I can build anything without that as well. Probably, maybe not. But with that one, there's no limits to what you can actually build in terms of like coding and web apps. And I love building like web. I love building software.
Yeah.
So yeah, the only thing I would take with me to Mars or to the moon or wherever.
Yeah, well, you need to build a partnership with them. You've obviously you're like their number one best customer, I think.
Oh, we
Biggest.
have, yeah, we pay a few thousands per month for the license for many people, and then now we are adding 9 more people to it.
Wow,
So pretty interesting.
nice. Well, I'm sure they're happy with you. Yeah, good stuff. Well, Ferry, where can people find you? Where's the best place to get in touch with you or connect with you on social media?
Yeah, LinkedIn. Just search for this name or that name there, and then you find me on LinkedIn, YouTube as well. I always say in the podcast, so I have to get more active on YouTube, but I always like, oh, now we have to build this software whore, and then we have to build this other thing. So I'm kind of ignoring YouTube, but I love LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a place to be, and yeah, LinkedIn is where you can find me.
Nice. Yeah, I definitely recommend people go and check you out on LinkedIn. You've got some really good content on there, and I'm always interested to see the types of campaigns that you're running, and you kind of add the humor videos into the mix as well. It's nice. It's good. It's good stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. Cheers, guys. Well, very appreciate you coming on. And yeah, until next time, guys. Over and out.
See you.